Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
D-Day Perrottet enters fray on train fleet industrial dispute by Tom Rabe and Alexandra Smith, May 16, 2022, 6:27 p.m. Save login, register or subscribe to save articles for later. Share normal text size, larger text size, very large text size 18. View all comments. NSW Premier Dominic Perrottet has stepped into a long-running industrial feud between the state government and rail unions, insisting the years-long standoff over a multi-billion-dollar train fleet must end immediately. Perrottet met with NSW Rail, Tram and Bus Union, RTBU, officials on Monday after negotiations broke down last week over the future of a new $2.8 billion train fleet that rail workers are refusing to staff due to safety concerns. NSW Premier Dominic Perrottet says a years-long industrial dispute over a new train fleet must end. The Premier's involvement in the dispute comes as the two senior NSW ministers he tasked with resolving the matter remain at odds on whether to placate the union in its request for modifications to the Korean-built fleet. Transport Minister David Elliott is set to take the union's request for modifications to the intercity fleet to the Cabinet Expenditure Review Committee this week, while Employee Relations Minister Damien Tudhope has said he opposed any changes to the trains. Before his meeting with the RTBU on Monday, Perrottet said the years-long fight between his government and the union had to come to a head, and described looming negotiations as D-Day. "This has to come to a head. We've had those trains sitting there for over 12 months. I want those trains on the tracks," Perrottet said. NSW Transport Minister David Elliott says he wants to see more people on public transport to boost revenue. Credit Stephen Stewart: "I'm not going to have our state held to ransom by union bosses. I will work with them, as I work with all unions, on concerns that are fair and reasonable, but whether it's a union boss or a politician, our job is to put our people first." While Tudhope last week said he believed changes to the trains could cost as much as $1 billion, Elliott has asked for an independent audit of this cost and has reiterated it could be much cheaper. "My position with the union is whatever they present I will prosecute in the Expenditure Review Committee. It is not unusual, in fact, it is very, very rare that a finance minister or treasurer for that matter will agree with everything that goes before ERC," Elliott said. "I don't believe it will be $1 billion. RTBU Secretary Alex Claessens described his meeting with Perrottet as productive, and downplayed the possibility of any imminent strike action. "We've just had a very good, productive meeting with the Premier. The Premier listened very intently to our concerns, and we reiterated all of the safety issues that we've had with this," Claessens said. "So the Premier, as I understand it, is going to go away and get his own advice, and make his own determination." However, the union leader said there was no chance rail workers would operate the trains until changes were made to the CCTV camera system board. The union also wants the driver's doors to be able to open as it approaches and departs stations, so guards can view the platform. "I'm not going to have our state held to ransom by union bosses," NSW Premier Dominic Perrottet, as the government wrestles with the financial implications of modifying a new train fleet. Elliott floated the idea of cheaper public transport fares to spur patronage uptake on Monday amid revelations of growing financial pressures on the network. The Herald on Monday reported NSW is lagging other major global cities in transport cost recovery, with a confidential draft government report warning financial pressures are mounting. Elliott said he would like to see more patronage on the network to boost revenue. He said one way of achieving it could be to lower fares, rather than increase them. "We would never make it free, but if there's economic modeling there that suggests that a reduction in public transport fares would see a massive increase in usage and therefore a gross increase in revenues, well, then that's something that obviously I would have a discussion about with cabinet colleagues," he said. "I would love to see the masses of the usage of public transport increase, which would obviously improve revenue." The report said future state governments would not be able to rely on asset recycling or Commonwealth funding to subsidize the wider transport network, and floated a range of options to stem the financial losses. Our breaking news alert will notify you of significant breaking news when it happens. Get it here. Thank you for reading the Herald. This article is complimentary. Register or log in now to read more articles and unlock extra benefits. No payment required. Read more. Continue with Google. Continue.